Hello everybody, Baruch Hashem. Where today, when we're giving this class, it was Lag BaOmer today. Very, very special day. It's a very special time to teach what the Rebbe says, especially the latest and the most advanced revelations of the Rebbe. We're going to continue in Parshas Bo. It's from the Parsha. Let's see what it says in the beginning over here. From the talk spoken on the fourth day of the week, that would be on Wednesday, of the Torah portions Bo, and on the third of Shevat, and on the Shabbos, the Torah portions Bo, the sixth of Shevat, 57-52. And this translated from Yiddish. The book we're using is called the Royal Words. This is there's two volumes. This is the first volume of Shemos, and you can get this off the website. You can download it also for free. Mitzvah Hashem, if you do for free, we hope to give you should send a little donation, because I worked very hard on this to prepare this stuff. But otherwise, just buy the book, and you'll see you can follow inside. And I realize a lot of this stuff is pretty difficult and pretty amazing stuff. But like anything, is that when you learn this stuff, even if you catch a few ideas or you start catch one or two concepts, it's worth it, because these are so special things. It's like you're going to a place of all special treasures, and you want to come out with each treasure, which all the treasures, because they're all so special. But if you come out just with one treasure, you're really lit up. So the words of the Rebbe are that all the special treasures of God has been revealed through the Rebbe. So we're talking about before about the idea of come to Pharaoh. And what was the whole idea of come to Pharaoh was that Pharaoh is the level of Kedusha, of holiness. And Hashem said Moshe Rabbeinu, and Moshe Rabbeinu was afraid to go to Pharaoh, because Pharaoh in holiness, which we have now, he said, if I would go see Pharaoh, I can't see such level of godliness and stay alive. I cannot see Hashem and remain in my body. I'll have to expire from my body, because you cannot see such revelations and be limited and be in a limited body. So he says, so that's why Hashem says, come with me. You're going to come with me. And even though you're going to be in your limited body, you're still going to be able to see this greatness of Hashem. And he explains the greatness in two ways. He says, it talks about Neparo, it says, also came from the language of I think is Usparisa, to priya, to break forth, to burst forward. That says that when Moshe took Moshe Rabbeinu to Hashem's house, there's a house where everything's revealed. It says everything's revealed there, and it's revealed in a way of bursting forward. So the Rebbe explains that the whole idea of revelation, which has to do with light, everything's revealed according to its level, and according to what it's supposed to enlighten. If a too high light comes into a situation, it won't be able to reveal. It could either disintegrate or won't be able to be there. So the idea from light is to show things. So therefore, by showing something, you have to show according to what you're seeing, according to limitations of our seeing. You can't show something that's beyond our capacity to receive. So that's the idea of light. But he says when you go into Hashem's house itself, that the lights are there, but the lights, in the way of how they are revealing, they're revealed just bursting forward like an atomic bomb. And the lights themselves are also a higher level, that everything that was hidden is also revealed. So the Rebbe says there's two ideas. There's one idea that we talked about, that the whole idea of these bursting of the lights and the lights of everything's revealed, that's when you know that this has to do with the essence of Hashem, because only the essence of Hashem can do such a thing. Then there's another level, the Rebbe says, that in the light itself is revealed the source. The source of everything is the essence of Hashem. So since in the light itself is revealed its source, and its source is beyond limitations, it's beyond being limited or not limited, so therefore the light itself has the level of unlimited in limitations. So this is what happened when Moshe went to Pharaoh. Now we're going to continue on to paragraph number 5 on page 109. The explanation as to why Hashem brought about this innovation, this new thing come to power. Why did he have to take Moshe Rabbeinu to see such great revelation? That Moshe, as a soul in a body, should be able to take in the revelation, the bursting forwards of all lights. So why did Hashem do this? What's the reason? Hashem does everything with a reason. And something so special like this has to be a very special reason. So why Hashem did it? Now this Rebbe is going to explain why he did it and explain what it means to us and how we can use it in our daily life. that Moshe, as a soul in the body, should be able to, okay. The explanation is why Hashem brought about the innovations of come to power, that Moshe, as a soul in a body, should be able to take in the revelation of the bursting forth of all lights. That's the idea of the light we're talking about. Hashem in his house, everything bursting forward. We will understand through bringing to light the concept of the redemption from Egypt in general. So what's the whole idea of leaving Egypt? What was the whole purpose? In general, which is come to Pharaoh, is the introduction in the beginning of this, as mentioned above. Okay, so the whole idea that we left Egypt started from really the level of coming to Pharaoh. Because coming to Pharaoh, okay, so Rebbe's going to explain. First, I have to understand what is the idea of redemption from Egypt. The intention of the redemption from Egypt is the giving of the Torah. As Hashem tells Moshe at the beginning of his mission to take the Jews out from Egypt. So if you remember what happened in the Chumash, that Moshe Rabbeinu was walking into the in the desert, and all of a sudden he saw a burning bush, and then Hashem said, "This is I'm speaking through the bush." So then he says, "It's a holy place," and they have a whole conversation where Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu that the Jews are in a very difficult situation, and I'm telling you that you have to go there, and you're my appointed prophet, and you will redeem the Jews from Egypt. So it says. So even before he ended in the beginning, the whole thing, when Hashem is explaining to Moshe what he has to do and why he has to do it, he talks about the idea, the reason you're going to do it is because I'm going to give the Torah to the Jews on where we're standing right now. On where this is happening, the Jews are going to receive the Holy Torah. And that's the reason that you're going to Egypt, to bring him here so I can give the Jews the Holy Torah. So let's go. So the intention of the redemption from Egypt, the giving of the Torah, as Hashem tells Moshe at the beginning of his mission, to take the Jews out of Egypt. He's quoting from the Chumash. When you will take the nation out from Egypt, they shall serve Hashem on this mountain. They should serve God on this mountain. The innovation of the giving of a Torah is the giving of what's happened. What was new when the Torah was given? What's so great that God gave the Torah? Because we have to understand, so we have to explain. What's the new thing? Is that the giving of the Torah and the commandments below to the Jewish people as souls and bodies. So why did Hashem do it? Because he gave us the Torah so that we can fulfill the purpose of the creation of the whole world. What is the purpose? Why did Hashem give Torah into this world to us so we can fulfill what Hashem wants? Why Hashem created the world? Why did Hashem create the world? It says Hashem desired to have a dwelling place for himself, blessed be he in the lowest realms. That in the limitations, so in other words, Hashem decided, I'm going to create a world that's full of limitations, and that the world itself can appear that it's separate from me from their perspective. And I want to make this world that will still have limitations, to be unlimited. That it should still remain in existence, but be unlimited in its receiving of the unlimited essence of myself. That's what I want to do. How? Why exactly? I mean, these are hard questions, but this basically, Hashem wanted to make the world a holy place so he can dwell here. That's what he wants. Explain it deeper. It's very hard to beyond that. But Hashem wants to dwell here in a revealed way, and that's when everybody talks about the times of Mashiach and the Messianic age. Everything is just total beauty because Hashem is dwelling with us and is dwelling His essence. So this is what we want to have to happen. So Hashem desired that He wanted a dwelling place for in the lowest realms. That in the limitation, the concealment of a soul, in the body in the lowest realms, there should be the revelation of the essence of Hashem. That Hashem should reveal Himself into us. The essence of I should be a revelation. Hashem should reveal the essence of Himself. I should be a godly self. Hashem is revealing His essence through me, through you, through everybody else, and through each and every Jew. Similarly to how a person is revealed with his full essence in his own house. And most certainly so regarding Hashem, so the creator and the conductor of the world. So therefore it's Hashem also that when the world is made in a place how He wants it, this is what Hashem wants, so therefore He's going to reveal His whole self, He's going to reveal His essence. As will be fulfilled in the most open manifestation in the true and complete redemption. And the foretaste of this was at the giving of the Torah. So we already saw this level of godliness being revealed in the world in such a level that Hashem could reveal and the world stayed in existence. It's interesting. One of the things when we talk, well, let's finish I'm just going to finish the paragraph, then we'll go. As it stated, and your master shall not be concealed anymore, and he will not be and he will be revealed in his dwelling place without any clothes, not even the loftiest clothes. Kanaf ha'elyon. In other words, it says in the future redemption, Hashem will be totally revealed. He won't be enclosed in creation. Everything is when he totally revealed the essence of Hashem, which we're talking about here. It started by Mount Torah, where Hashem was revealed. It says that everybody saw Hashem. He was a great revelation. So this is what we're going to see very soon, Mitzvah Hashem. We're going to see this great revelation, and we're going to see the full essence of Hashem. But this is the idea of redemption. The idea of redemption is to be able to see and receive the full essence of Hashem and remain in a body. In other words, that we can be a dwelling place for Hashem. That Hashem can reveal His essence through me. I'm a dwelling place for Him. And we can stay alive. As known, that before the giving, now the Rebbe is going to go and explain and develop the idea that we know that before giving the Torah, that there was not a unity between the spiritual and physical. The upper realms and the lower realms didn't get together. There was either you were spiritual or you're physical, but you couldn't learn. And then he talks about how it's nullified in this by Mount Torah until finally we reach a level. By the time of the coming of Mashiach, the Rebbe explains that by final Mashiach, in times of the Messianic area, that everything is going to be totally revealed as one. So let's go on. Let's look at insight. As known that before the giving of the Torah, there was a decree between the upper realms and the lower realms, that the upper realm shall not descend below, and the lower realm shall not ascend above. And at the giving of the Torah, there was a nullification of this decree. Namely, the power for drawing into the Lord. What happened to the giving of the Torah? This decree was taken away. Namely, the power for drawing into the lower realms, the revelation of the upper realm. So what happened when this decree happened? That there was able that the upper realm should receive revelation from the lower realms should receive revelation from the upper realms, including the highest level of godliness. Not only just the higher level revelation, but the highest levels of godliness, including from the essence of Hashem, such as that the physical body in this physical world should become a holy entity, including a dwelling place for Hashem Himself, blessed be He. That in the whole world it is clearly manifest how that the Jewish people and the Holy One, blessed be, are completely one unity. This is this is what we're doing now. This is where we're at. This is what the whole idea of everything is. The Rebbe is going to go out and explain. But this is the wonderful thing. The Mamash Hashem will be dwelling part through us. We're Hashem's special. And here we're talking about we're Hashem's special dwelling place. We are a holy entity where Hashem dwells through us. From this is understood that in the Egyptian exile, we're down at page 110, the last paragraph. From this is understood that in the Egyptian exile, in the exodus from Egypt, which are preparation for the revelation of Hashem below at the giving of the Torah, is emphasized the introduction to the nullification of the decree, namely the transition from the state of separation between the upper realms and the lower realms to the state of unity between them, as a preparation for complete unity between them at the actual giving of Torah. So let's just go over this again. From this is understood that the Egyptian exile and exodus from Egypt, that this whole idea of being in Egypt which is a preparation for the revelation of the essence of Hashem below at the giving of Torah, Mount Torah, is emphasized the introduction, what happens, what whole idea of in Egypt, what happened there. We started already the introduction of the nullification of the decree, namely, what's the decree? Namely, the transition from the state of separation between the upper realms and the lower realms to a state of unity between them as a preparation for the complete unity between them at the actual giving of Torah. So in other words, there had to be something, the Rebbe says, that since going out from Egypt was the purpose to receive the Torah, there has to be something that we prepared in going out of Egypt that is similar, that's preparing us to giving a Torah. So we must say that there's something there that's taking away that spiritual and physical can't combine. And things can't become holy. That simply, a thing can't become holy before the giving of Torah. It remained a thing. Nothing became holy. Nothing became special because it couldn't receive godliness in it. So the Rebbe says there must be something in the going after Egypt that's talking about the nullification of the decree that should separate physical and spiritual, and that the physical cannot be holy, cannot be a dwelling place for Hashem. So we may say this is a chiddush, it's something new the Rebbe is saying. Nobody else ever said this. Till 1992, nobody ever said such a thing. That a fundamental step in this introduction was accomplished through the command of Hashem to Moshe. Come to Pharaoh, as we shall explain. So how did this thing start? How did the breaking down of the decree between the upper and lower started? What was the beginning, the starting? This is come to Pharaoh. Now we're going to explain this. Now we're at number 6, page 111. And by preface that we find something similar to this, i.e. the phenomenon of come to Pharaoh at the beginning of the mission of Moshe to take the Jews out of Egypt. So what was the beginning? Moshe was discussing and talking to Hashem, and Moshe didn't want to go. He says, I'm not ready, I can't do it. You got to send somebody who's more important, send the Mashiach. All different types of things. We'll just follow what the Rebbe says over here, and see. Hopefully we'll understand more deeply this whole idea of Hashem appearing to a person in a body, and how this has to do with going up him with receiving the Torah, and how this has to do with the complete final redemption, especially how it has to do nowadays. In explaining the objection of Moshe to the request of Hashem that he be the redeemer of the Jewish people, namely, Moshe said, I'm not a man of words, for I'm hard of speech and hard of verbalization, and therefore please send one who's appropriate to send. So it says, don't send me, I can't even talk, I have a speech impediment. How can I go before the king Pharaoh and tell him what to do and tell people, I can't even speak properly. Send somebody who can speak. Simple meaning. It's explained in many places that the Egyptian exile, that in the Egyptian exile, the speech of Moshe was an exile. This is according to the Zohar, if you look down the front. And therefore Moshe reasons that through him there cannot be the redemption of Jewish people in the physical world, as we shall explain. So Moshe Rabbeinu says that look at number 44. What did Moshe Rabbeinu saw? He was afraid because he said, I don't, it says over here, and it says, where it says, over there it says, the Moshe, not understanding of how he could be the Redeemer, why he couldn't be Redeemer, was, how can there be a revelation of the infinite light in the lowest realms? How can God, I'm this high light, how can I reveal myself to the lowest levels? And also saw the strong negative aspect of Egypt was exceedingly hindering the coming of redemption. So he said, I can't break through. So this is the first thing. Moshe Rabbeinu said, I can't really break through. I can't bring my level down to these people. It's too hard. I can't bring such down. It's too much negativity. So in view, and we're on page 112, and in view of the spiritual source of matters, indeed, this is especially is because the lofty level of Moshe, who from the perspective of himself on his own, is on a level which transcends manifestation in speech, i.e., so the Rebbe is going to go on to explain over here that Moshe Rabbeinu was such a high spiritual level that it was even above explaining the Torah down in speech. It was the highest with Hashem. Just like sometimes people's a real genius, but he can't tell somebody what's happening. He can't bring it down. He can see the wonders. Like a person can see a wonderful building and it's beautiful and it's magnificent and it lights up. But he couldn't explain it to somebody else. He didn't have the ability because everybody else couldn't. He would say they're at such a low level they could not understand why it's beautiful and how the different makeup is. And another, so this is what Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu was saying, I have such a high spiritual level that his level is so great and secret that it cannot be expressed in mere words and transcends even the revelation below of the written Torah and the oral Torah. That's why it says, he said, I'm hard of speech in the oral Torah, refers to oral Torah, and hard of verbalization, it refers into the written Torah. So Moshe said he was hard of speech because his source was from the spiritual world of Tohu. The Tohu was in which the lights were immense and couldn't be closed themselves in the vessels. So generally it talk about the idea of Tohu and Tikkun. Now, Tohu, it says, when Hashem originally made the first worlds, Tohu, they're the levels that everything was very strong. Every light of godliness, every revelation was very strong to itself. And it couldn't become, therefore, it's so strong that it couldn't fit in the vessels. The vessels were too small. It's like taking a light bulb and putting 100,000 watts in it. The light bulb will blow up and it'll fall apart, and then the energy that's in it will go back up to Hashem. So the same thing happened. That's how Hashem made it. So therefore the light, the vessels broke and fell down, but the vessels still have the level of their sources is in this very high spiritual source. And therefore, and the other level we talk about, which is the level through Torah and mitzvahs, it's how the world was created now, is called the level of tikkun. That the spiritual world, how the world is and it's a lot of vessels, but the light isn't so great. So the whole idea is to bring this light of Tohu, even higher than Tohu, but this great light, into this physical world, which has strong vessels, and the vessels should be able to stay vessels and should be able to reveal this high light from Hashem. And this is what we're talking about. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, his life was so spiritually high, he couldn't bring down his spiritual world of Torah into the lights, in which the lights were immense and couldn't clothe themselves in the vessels. And this is the concept of heart to speech, that he couldn't bring the lights of his intellect into the vessels of the mouth. And therefore he couldn't bring what he saw and explain it out. It was too high. Therefore he said, please send the one who's appropriate to be sent, our righteous Mashiach, the Rebbe Melech Mashiach, namely the one who is from the world of Tikkun, where the lights are immense, so that they may where the vessels are immense, so they may contain the light. So he says, see, after we've done all the avoda, like we've done now, the Rebbe says, Mashiach says everything's finished. That means we've prepared the world for Mashiach. We refined everything. We brought down, we took the sparks of holiness that fell down in the world, and we turn it back up to the source, and it shines back down to us a higher level. And the world has been totally purified and refined. So therefore, that's why the final Redeemer is the level from Tikkun. Because what's it mean? It means the vessels, the world, the physical world has been totally refined. And since it's totally refined, it can take the inner essence of Hashem, the lights of Hashem. So that's what happens. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, I can't reach that level. You just send Mashiach, because Mashiach, that's the one that's his level. He's done it, everything's finished, and he's able to receive the highest levels because he has the strongest vessels. So namely the one who's from the world of Tikkun, where the vessels are immense, so that they may contain the light. So now we're on page 112, we're the second paragraph, and to this Hashem answered. So Hashem says, Moshe, send somebody else, send a guy who can finish the job, don't send me. But Hashem answers, who has given a man a mouth? Is it then not I, Hashem? Remember, all of this happened before Moshe Rabbeinu was sent, when Hashem was trying to send Moshe Rabbeinu to redeem the Jews. It is not I, Hashem, and I shall be with your mouth. And that's, I'm the one who makes the mouth. I'm the one who makes the speech. I'm with you. I can take care of everything. And I shall guide you in what you will speak. This is all Hashem is telling Moshe from the perspective of his blessed essence, whom is all capable. When we talk about Hashem himself, he's all capable. He can do everything and anything, even two opposites at the same time. And it's the source of the vessels of the mouth. So remember, the mouth has to do with the vessels of the world of Tikkun, the world where the world we're in now, and of the immense lights of Tohu. So since Hashem is the source of both things, the lights of Tohu, which are too big to become down into Tikkun, but Hashem is the source of both. So therefore, he accomplished that since he's above both, he can tell them what to do. Like they're two different people. One is very strong rulers, but Hashem is rulers of both of them, and he can tell them what to tell. They listen because he's the source of them. So he can accomplish that even in Egyptian exile, and even for Moshe, whom on his own transcends the revelation of vessels, that there should be, in other words, he can reveal that in the lowest level of exile, that the world was terrible. The Egyptian exile was the worst from worst. Terrible. And the Moshe himself, that it is such a high level that he should be, that there should be the manifestation, his speech through the mouth, that Hashem should be able to do this, and I shall be with you. Only Hashem can do this, meaning that although due to your source, talking about Moshe Rabbeinu, of Tohu, do your source from Tohu. Remember, Tohu is a high level where the lights are strong and the vessels couldn't hold them. You do not have this type of vessels. However, I, Hashem, who made the vessels of Tikkun and the world of Tohu, I made everything. I can switch them and combine the levels of Tohu and Tikkun as one. I can do it with one because they're all mine. They're all my puzzle. They're all my creation. Namely, that the advantage of both, what's Hashem going to do? That there should be the immense lights, as in the world of Tohu, as well as the advantage of Tikkun, that there would be the very immense vessels. In other words, we stay in creation and remain holy, godly people. Only then in Egypt, the phenomena that says, only then in Egypt, the phenomena that says, I shall be with your mouth, was a manifestation in a supernatural way. That when Moshe Rabbeinu spoke to Pharaoh, his words will be correct clearly, and in addition, that there was also the phenomenon of Aaron, your brother, will be with your spokesperson, and you shall speak to him, and you shall place the words in his mouth. And thus Hashem made it in a way that everything, that all the high levels of Moshe Rabbeinu could be brought down, either by him speaking it, or by him telling Aaron, who's a very high level too, but not as high as Moshe, and so he could explain it to everybody else, that he shall be for your mouth. And in order that it should be in a revealed in speech in a complete fashion, and he said this, that Hashem did this in order that it should be revealed in speech in a complete fashion, also in a natural way. Know that Hashem and Moshe spoke to Pharaoh. Moshe told Pharaoh what to do, and Moshe could understand everything. And Moshe spoke to the people, and he also had Aaron speaking for him. However, then he was not healed, which therefore Moshe afterwards said, I have a speech impediment. In other words, Moshe Rabbeinu was not healed. It was a miracle. It was a miraculous drug that happened temporarily, that Hashem miraculously healed him temporarily. And this is Moshe's being able to speak due to a miracle. How did Moshe able to speak due to a miracle? It came about through the revelation in Egypt at the high level of Anochi. So the Rebbe is going to explain. Anochi, it says, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I'm the Lord you brought, God who brought you out of the Egypt. So they explain in many places in the Chassidus that Anochi goes on the essence from God. I, the essence, God himself, took you out from Egypt. So the Rebbe is saying, how was it able that Moshe Rabbeinu was able to speak? Because this revelation of the essence of God was revealed. When the essence of God is revealed, you can do two opposites. You can take something beyond being able unlimited and take something limited and put them together. That the limited should be limited, but it should reveal the unlimited. And this, the Moshe says, being able to speak to a miracle, came about through the revelation in Egypt at the high level of Anochi. I will be with your mouth. This is the level of the giving of the Torah, at the beginning of the Ten Commandments, which therefore, the revelation of Anochi, such as the essence of Hashem, has the ability to accomplish the exodus from Egypt, even though speech is in a state of exile, and only in order that there be only in order, so God appears as essence, and only in order for there to be the complete revelation of speech in the world in general. First, there must be the shattering. In other words, this is only temporary. But in order to have the revelation of speech completely, first you have to have the shattering of the evil entity of Egypt. That through the first. Therefore, that there first being the revelation of Anochi, I was with your mouth. So this is the first level that Hashem says had with Moshe was able to break down the high level of Klipa of Egypt, because Hashem was with him, this level of the essence, to Moshe alone. And this brings afterwards the complete revelation of speech at the giving of Torah, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, which then Moshe was completely healed. So first of all, we see a very important thing here. That the Rebbe explains here something amazing. It says a Nasi hu hakol. Nasi is everything. And I've seen many people who've experienced that. But what time do we have here?
49.
Okay, so basically, I don't want to run too much longer. So basically, the Rebbe is explaining over here about how the essence of God is revealed, and this first has to happen with the leader. It says the Nasi are called, the Nasi is everything. So therefore, the Nasi receives, but the Nasi first has to receive this level of Anochi, the essence from Hashem, and then he gives it to the Jewish people. Interesting to note that the Rebbe we're times of Mashiach, and Mashiach's here, and we haven't come out the complete way yet, but we're in the process of it. So therefore, we have to say that Mashiach has to be by the Rebbe. Rebbe is Mashiach, but the Mashiach, and we know that it says when the Rebbe was 3 years old, it says he used to used to see the complete redemption. So this, just like it happened, so that's a very important thing. So therefore we see that the Rebbe is holding by redemption, by Mashiach, and through him, Hashem giving this level to the Rebbe Mashiach can give it to each and every one of us. And Mirz Hashem, the more we learn and the more we talk about this, and the more we help each other out, the more we do good stuff, we will see this more in our daily lives, and we'll see how special it is that there's so many wonderful Jews just serving Hashem because Hashem's Hashem. Sei gesund, everybody, and as always, hope to see you in the base of Mikdash right away.